The best dealers that are crushing their market versus dealers maybe that aren't are very focused on obviously marketing and developing the brand. They are putting their information everywhere versus maybe just solely to commercials or TV or whatever. They're seeing everything as a tool in their toolbox, and how do we use each of these tools to amplify exposure and generate leads. Dealers that aren't are maybe more stuck in the traditional ways that work 10 years ago or 5 years ago, however long ago that may have been. I just want to do commercials and SEO, and all those things have shifted a lot in the last 3 years. There's been a massive shift. Like SEO is becoming a little less relevant versus like AEO, answer engine optimization, which is like optimizing for ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity or any of those tools you may use to help find research. So the dealers that are winning though are really using all the tools in the toolbox versus maybe just one or two of them. So by the time these customers come to your lot, there's really all these different places they've found you or seen you or learned about your business. They've done all this due diligence and research, and even research the product to an extent. I mean, there's people that go on YouTube and do really long deep dives into this stuff to make sure it's the right fit. So there's so many resources online, and then from there, I'm gonna look up the dealership maybe closest to me or who has it in stock or whatever it is. And then obviously the reviews, like what has their customer experience been? Do they have good reviews? Do they have bad reviews? Like, do they seem like good people? Do they have videos of the unit themselves? Because if they have it and it's them taking me through the tour versus someone random on YouTube, it just adds that customer confidence. That's typically what a customer has done now before they ever step foot on your lot or have the confidence to step foot on your lot. If you're investing in your marketing or working with an agency or whatever it is, returns to be expected, obviously you want at least a 2 to 1, that's a low end. Like, that's at least you're doubling your investment. You're spending $5,000 a month on marketing and you sell $10,000 in units, at least you've doubled your money back. Any return is a good return right now for a business, and that's done with our systems. Like, we build all these systems to track everything from start to finish, provide the content, strategies, all these different things to really build your brand on top of ads. We're super into the business side of things as well as the marketing side of things. And with that, we've developed what I call a marketing partner system. We are kind of a plug and play marketing department, or if you already have a marketing department, we can assist them to make them better. I built it this way because instead of having a massive list of line items, it's a lot simpler and easier for the founder, CEO, business owner, or whoever it may be that's making the decisions. We've tried to simplify it as much as possible because you're already so busy. Whenever you have these multiple vendors, there's a lot of friction. So what we've done is taken all those different sources and combined them into one package. The whole goal was to simplify it and give you a better product and clearer results so you know if your investment's working. I think a lot of dealers hesitate to market because it is an expense, and at the end of the day, they've maybe been burned by a bad agency in the past that promised this incredible thing, and then they got handed off to, maybe someone lower on their team that's not as experienced as what they were sold on. And we have a lot of those conversations. And when that happens and you spend a lot of money on this stuff, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. I mean, when you're talking 20, 50, 100 grand a month in marketing, and those people burn you, I mean, that's real money. Like, it's a big loss. I think people get hesitant just due to people in this industry not being truthful and promising things they can't provide, or maybe they don't have the experience. They're just worried about their bottom line versus actually helping the dealer's bottom line. But that's one thing I can confidently say we don't do here. And I'm very thankful for that, because whenever we grew the company, my intentions were to always help the business and focus more on slow growth for us. I want to make sure every customer is happy before we even think about maybe onboarding another customer. And that might take months, like, we never know. So for the dealers that have been burned, there's better people out there, I can promise you, and you should invest in your marketing because it's one of your biggest levers to generate attention and leads. But you really need to do your due diligence on those people you're talking with first. Let me give you an example of a dealership we've helped. They are a power sports dealership. They're one of our early customers. They started off with a very small social presence, and we wanted to focus that initial year or so, I think it was about a year, more on the organic side. Like, how can we grow their brand and presence online organically? And what we focused on was content. Like, what does content look like for them? How do we produce as much content as possible to get them out there? And they had multiple series that we came up with that performed very well organically. Whenever the proof was there organically, we're getting hundreds of thousands, millions of views on these posts without any ad dollars. It was like, hey, these are a safer bet. Like, let's amplify these with ad spend and add like a CTA to it. And when that happened, it took off. They started with like 3,000 followers and they now have over 120,000 plus followers. And I know followers is more of a vanity metric now because it's interest-based media versus social media. We reach millions and millions and millions of people a month, and we're able to choose the winners now and turn those into ads to convert to customers. And now 60% of their leads are from this marketing system that we've implemented into their business, which is really cool to see. The timeline for that, for the organic side, was roughly a year, but I mean, they've been a partner with us for over 4 years now, and it's been one of those things that snowballs. It's once it works and you figure out what works, you keep redoing those things, and it just builds into this monster machine. So another thing to tell dealers, like, it's a long-term game plan when done right. It's not fix my sales by end of month. It's let's build the systems and get this thing working as it should be originally, and then build off that. So it's not a short-term win. You can get lucky, maybe get a viral post or something like that, but that's just not realistic. Most of the people you see that are viral have been doing this for 5, 10, 20 years, whatever it may be, The dealers that figure this out earlier on than dealers who are maybe more hesitant or don't figure it out are going to crush their competition. They're putting themselves obviously ahead. Time is everything, and depending on what your goals are as a dealer too. Like, we're in the business to win. Like, we want to win, and we want all of our partners to win. You have to get as much information out there as possible about your business to have AI help find you and things like that. The market is shifting so much faster every single day because of this whole AI shift. If you sleep on this moment, you're probably going to suffer, just to be honest. Like, you're going to become less relevant, harder to find online. Obviously, you'll have your local traffic, but you are going to struggle to get to the goals if you have big goals.